Imagine being surrounded on two fronts with two powerful adversaries ready to strike. Could you hold your ground? Now, visualize the Indian subcontinent, a land rich in history and culture, nestled between the towering Himalayas and the expansive Indian Ocean. To the north lies the world's most populous nation, China. To the west, the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Both nations share a complex and often tense relationship with India, making the prospect of a two-front war a very real concern for Indian strategic thinkers. The concept of a two-front war is not new. It's a military scenario where a state must fight off two separate adversaries on two different fronts. This is a daunting task for any nation, requiring immense resources, strategic planning, and a robust military. For India, such a conflict would mean simultaneously grappling with the Chinese dragon in the north and the Pakistani falcon in the west. India's history with both these neighbors has been marked by sporadic conflicts and uneasy truces. The Sino-Indian War of 1962, the Indo-Pakistani Wars of 1947, 1965, and 1971 are grim reminders of the volatility in the region. These historical events underline the very real possibility of a two-front war scenario. However, it's crucial to remember that a war isn't won merely by numbers or geographical advantage. It's about the spirit, the will to defend one's homeland. It's about the strength of the soldiers who stand guard day and night, ready to protect their nation at all costs. It's about the resilience of a nation and its people. India, with its proud heritage and indomitable spirit, is no stranger to such challenges. Its armed forces, one of the largest and most experienced in the world, stand ready to protect its sovereignty and its people. With this daunting scenario in mind, we delve into the military capabilities of India, Pakistan, and China. As we navigate through this analysis, we'll uncover the strength, strategies, and the spirit that could determine the outcome of this hypothetical two-front war. India, a nation known for its prowess and resilience, is no stranger to adversity. Now, let's delve into the heart of this resilience, the Indian military. The Indian Armed Forces, one of the world's largest, stand as a testament to the country's dedication to safeguarding its sovereignty. Comprising the Indian Army, Navy, and Air Force, the military is a formidable force, ready to defend the nation at a moment's notice. The Indian Army, the principal land warfare force, is a potent mix of man and machine. It is equipped with state-of-the-art weaponry, from advanced battle tanks and artillery systems to the latest infantry equipment. The army is also constantly modernizing, adapting to the changing dynamics of warfare, ensuring that it remains a formidable opponent on any battlefield. The Indian Navy, guardian of the country's vast coastline and overseer of its maritime interests, is not to be underestimated. With a fleet of submarines, destroyers, and frigates, along with aircraft carriers, the Navy ensures that India's seas are always under vigilant protection. The Navy's recent inclusion of the Scorpene-class submarines and the indigenous aircraft carrier, INS Vikrant, are clear indicators of India's growing naval prowess. The Indian Air Force, the air arm of the Indian military, is a force to reckon with. Equipped with an array of fighter jets, transport aircraft, and helicopters, the Air Force ensures dominance in the skies. The recent acquisition of the Rafale fighter jets from France has further bolstered its strength, adding to its impressive fleet. Beyond the conventional forces, India's missile systems, part of the Strategic Forces Command, are a significant component of its defense capabilities. With the successful deployment of Agni and Prithvi series, India has established a credible minimum deterrence, ensuring a strong second strike capability. India's advancements in technology and defense research are equally impressive. The Defense Research and Development Organization, or DRDO, is at the forefront of these advancements, continually developing and refining weaponry and equipment to meet the challenges of modern warfare. India's military might is not just about numbers, but also about the spirit of its soldiers who are ready to defend their motherland. Their bravery and commitment to the nation are the real strength behind India's military might. Now let's turn our gaze towards the north and the west, where lie two potential challenges, China and Pakistan. First, let's ponder on China, the dragon of the East. With its burgeoning economic power, it has invested heavily in its military capabilities. The People's Liberation Army, with its vast manpower, is the largest standing army in the world. China's arsenal brims with advanced weaponry and cutting-edge technology, including stealth fighters, ballistic missiles, and cyber warfare capabilities. However, its strength could also be its weakness. The sheer size of the Chinese military necessitates a complex logistical operation, which could be a potential Achilles heel in a full-scale conflict. Moreover, China's modern military technology, while impressive on paper, remains largely untested in real combat situations. Let's now shift focus to Pakistan, our neighbor to the west. Pakistan's military strength lies in its close-knit and highly motivated fighting force. The Pakistan Army has a robust infantry, complemented by a capable air force and a navy that has held its own in the treacherous Arabian Sea. Pakistan's strategic geographic location, coupled with its mountainous terrain, could pose a serious challenge in a conventional conflict. However, Pakistan's military capabilities are somewhat dwarfed when compared to India's. Moreover, Pakistan's economy, which is significantly smaller than that of India, could limit its ability to sustain a long-term conflict. The wild card in this scenario, however, is the nuclear factor. Both China and Pakistan are nuclear-armed states, which adds a highly volatile element to any potential conflict scenario. But it's crucial to remember that India too is a nuclear power and has a policy of no first use, which acts as a strong deterrent. Now, let's consider how these factors could play out in a hypothetical two-front war scenario. A simultaneous attack from China and Pakistan would undoubtedly stretch India's resources. However, India's strategic geographical advantage, with the Himalayas acting as a natural barrier in the north and the Thar Desert to the west, could significantly impede the invading forces. Furthermore, India's military strategy has always been one of defensive offense. India's armed forces are trained and ready to absorb the initial attack, halt the enemy's advance, and then launch a counter-offensive. This strategy, coupled with India's indomitable spirit, could turn the tide in India's favor. While these nations have formidable forces, India's strategic defense and indomitable spirit pose a significant challenge. The courage of the Indian armed forces, combined with the nation's unwavering resolve, could indeed be the game-changer in a potential two-front war scenario. So, what would be the outcome of a two-front war? In pondering this question, we must consider the various strategies that India could employ. One possibility is the two-and-a-half-front strategy. This approach involves simultaneously handling both China and Pakistan, while also managing internal security issues. It's a daunting task, no doubt, but one that India's armed forces have been preparing for with dedication and resilience. Another possible strategy is the offensive-defensive approach. Here, India would assume a defensive stance on one front while launching an offensive on the other. The choice of which front to prioritize would be dictated by the dynamics of the conflict at that particular time. However, strategies alone may not determine the outcome. The role of international relations and allies becomes crucial in such scenarios. India has been fostering strategic relationships with various global powers. These partnerships could prove pivotal in providing diplomatic, economic, and possibly even military support. The United States, for instance, has emerged as a key strategic partner for India in recent years, a relationship fortified by shared democratic values and mutual interests. In the event of a two-front war, this alliance could potentially tip the scales in India's favor. Similarly, India has an enduring connection with Russia, a long-term supplier of military hardware and a reliable partner. Then there are countries like France, Israel, and Japan, all of whom have bolstered their ties with India in recent times. In the end, it's not just about the number of tanks or fighter jets. It's about strategic planning. It's about alliances. It's about the indomitable spirit of the Indian Armed Forces. The nature of warfare has changed dramatically over the years, with technology and information warfare playing increasingly significant roles. India's investment in these areas, coupled with its strategic geographical location and its vast and well-trained military, could certainly give it an edge in a two-front conflict. While we hope for peace, India stands prepared for any eventuality, its spirit undeterred, its forces ready. In the face of adversity, nations reveal their true mettle. As we've traversed through the landscapes of military might and strategic scenarios, we've shed light on the looming possibilities of a two-front war on Indian soil. But remember, India is not just any nation. It's a nation of resilience, bravery, and unparalleled spirit. The Indian Armed Forces, with their state-of-the-art weaponry, strategic prowess, and indomitable courage, are more than equipped to tackle any challenges thrown their way. The robust defense system, coupled with the unyielding spirit of its soldiers, make India a formidable adversary. India's military strength is not just about numbers or technology. It's about the spirit of its soldiers, the courage of its people, and the unity of its nation. It's about the strength that comes from within, the determination to protect its soil and its people, no matter the cost. India, a nation of resilience and bravery, stands tall.